Nothing But the Words, episode number 130, for unexpected early benefits of outlining your book. Hey there, and welcome to Nothing But the Words. I'm your book coach, Candace L. Davis. I hope your week and your writing are both going exceptionally well. In the last episode, I talked about how writing a comprehensive, well thought out outline customized for your book can really help you to write your book faster and with much less stress. Your outline, as I talked about last time, can help you keep your writer's block at bay and really eliminate any of that paralysis that happens when you sit down to write. You know exactly what you need to write. And even if you don't feel like writing the next part, you can jump ahead and write something else. You can still be productive. So for how-to books, personal development books, narrative nonfiction, memoirs, it's essential that you write an outline. You don't have to do it. There is no have to, right? But in my experience, it is going to make your job a lot easier, a lot more pleasant, and a lot faster. In this episode, I want to share four benefits of outlining your book that many authors don't think about or they just miss out on. They don't know about them until well into the process. So when I talk about your outline, I'm not just talking about a list of chapters. That, as you know, is a table of contents. And in my experience, most authors will benefit from going deeper than that. If you're seeking a traditional book deal, you will have to go deeper than that for your book proposal. A comprehensive outline shows those publishers that you have more than just surface level topics you want to talk about. And it also shows you at a glance what content you want to write and the details of each chapter. It breaks down the topics and the subtopics that you will cover, the concepts that you will explain, and the stories that you want to tell. Now, I suggest you get specific and detailed in your outline, but also keep in mind that it's not written in stone. This is your book. You can make changes anytime you want to. It's flexible. You don't want to be willy-nilly all over the place making changes, but it's your book. You can make changes when you feel like it makes sense to do so. So let's dive into the four early benefits that you can reap from outlining your book. These are all things you can do if you choose to, even before you finish writing your book, sometimes before you even start writing your book. In the best case scenario, and this is benefit number one, you will start marketing your book well before its launch. You want to get significant momentum behind the marketing of your book before you let it go out into the world. Your outline is essentially a guideline for creating marketing content. That could be social media posts, Amazon ads, social posts, articles for LinkedIn or for online magazines or other websites. All of those things, you can pull those ideas from your outline, not your book content, because you don't want to necessarily be publishing your book content. In some cases, yes, but not for what we're talking about here. But you can look at that outline to get ideas of what you can talk about in your marketing. Or even better, in many cases, you can give your outline to someone on your team, someone you hire to create those posts for you. Most authors, whether they publish independently or they get a book deal, grossly underestimate how much time and energy they need to invest in marketing their book, and sometimes money as well. But a comprehensive outline at least gives you that starting place. So you're not sitting there wondering, what the heck do I even have to talk about? In addition to helping you come up with marketing content, this is the second benefit. Your outline is the place to look when you want to come up with talking points for media appearances. You may be thinking, what's she talking about? Well, maybe you have big goals for media appearances, but you might be thinking, this is irrelevant to me. I'm not going on the Today Show. I'm not going to be sitting under the trees with Oprah talking about my book. But you don't have to. You don't have to have goals that big. You can. But if you don't, it's okay. Plenty of bestsellers have been made without a national TV appearance. Go figure. There is plenty of other media that is within reach for you. Do not overlook your local TV and radio stations. Many of my clients start there. I'm not a PR person or a marketing person. However, many of my clients on their own or with their other professionals start their promotions for their book, their public relations on local TV and radio. Those shows need new content every day too. Podcasts are actually my favorite media option for authors. There are thousands and thousands of them. If you can think of a niche, there is probably a podcast for it. And if you look through your network, just comb through your network a little bit. It's a great place to start. There are probably some people you know who host relevant podcasts, and you can simply ask your friends, hey, I really think this would be great for your audience. I'd love to come on your podcast, and hopefully they will say yes. My favorite benefit of podcast is durability. Now, when you appear on a TV show, that's great, especially if it has a large audience. Nothing against TV shows. But for the most part, people don't watch news shows or talk shows in reruns. They either catch it live, maybe record it and watch it the same day, or they catch the replay in the afternoon because they're at work in the morning, whatever it is, or they don't watch it at all. They might see you on TV and hop on Amazon right away and grab your book, but most people won't if it's the first time they're hearing about it. With a podcast, typically there will be show notes that link directly to your book so people can just click and buy, so listeners can find it easily. Even better, 3 months later, 3 years later, new listeners can still find that episode and discover your book. If you can appear on different podcasts within the same sort of community where people who listen to podcasts A also listen to podcasts B, even better. You're appearing in front of them more and more. I might need to do a whole episode on using podcasts to promote your book because there's a lot more to say. But the point for us today is that your outline is a fantastic place for you to find talking points for media interviews. It's a great place to find that one story you know will work for a particular podcast audience. Is a great place where you can pull points that you want to use to pitch different podcasts, because your friends, eventually you will run out of friends to pitch, and you'll need to really say something concrete to convince podcast hosts that you have the right topic and angle and stories and personality for their audience. Listen, you will know your book well by the time you finish writing it, but it can also become a bit of a blur to you. And instead of having to flip through all those pages to figure out what you want to talk about, you can go directly to your outline. You can do that even before you've written your book. The third early benefit of outlining your book is that you can use that outline to create other intellectual property. This ties back to my interview with Parshell Tashi a couple of episodes ago. If you want to develop a course based on your book or some part of your book, a solid outline is essential. It does not have to be the framework for your course, the whole outline, but it definitely makes creating a course a lot easier. Depending on your strategy, you might want to release that course before you finish writing the book or at the same time as your book launch. You might also create something like a workbook to go with your book or downloadable journal. The outline for your book will help you do that so much faster and more easily. And if you missed that episode with Parshell, you can find it at CandiceLDavis.com/128. She explains brilliantly how she takes authors through the process to help them create a course based on their book. And she can work with authors who have not yet finished their books. And finally, the fourth benefit of your outline, the fourth early benefit that you can get before you even finish writing your book, is that it is a great place to find ideas for talks or workshops. If you are a speaker or trainer, or you want to be, your outline is, my friend, a goldmine. This is content you can share before you launch your book, before you even finish writing your book. You can give a talk on a section from your book. You don't have to wait until your book is published to share your stories or your ideas or your processes. Don't start freaking out thinking I'm going to ruin it if I talk about it early. You will not. In fact, sharing some of your content with your live audience can help you see what really engages people, what really catches their attention, what really works, and what you might want to tweak. So this episode comes out just a day or two before my live outlining workshop, The Successful Author's Secret Weapon. If you are ready to craft a comprehensive outline for your book and really leverage it for all its possible benefits, I would love to have you join us. We will meet in my Zoom room. It will be a fairly small group, so everyone will have a chance to ask their questions and get feedback on their outline if they want it. You can find out more at CandiceLDavis.com/secret weapon. I am so deeply proud of this workshop and how it can help you kickstart your book and really get some momentum on your writing and really go into the writing process with some confidence, knowing that you've done this, you've taken this major first step, and that you have a foundation to stand on as you write your book. I don't teach live workshops outside of my group coaching program, Authors Ignited, very often, but I felt compelled to teach this one. Check it out at CandiceLDavis.com/secret weapon. I hope to see you there. That's all for this week's episode, friends. Thank you so much for listening to Nothing But the Words. I'm your book coach, Candice L. Davis, and I'll see you next time.